We can start, I guess. नहीं नहीं वो हमारी आवाज़ Ladies and gentlemen, today I, Vidushi,
And I, Abhishek.
are extremely glad to welcome you here in the 19th edition of Gasp, the annual in-house theatre production of SPJIMR.
The Guild of Actors, SPJIMR, is a group of students that embodies the creativity and will of the students here at the SPJN Institute of Management and Research. Founded in 2003 by Anupam Joshi and his group, this guild has successfully put out plays year after year.
And when the legacy was passed on to us, it was a huge responsibility.
And as you can see from Vidushi's voice, that responsibility has taken quite a toll on her. But yes, guys, when we were passed down the baton by our seniors, we had no idea how to go about this. It was because last 2 years, the thing was happening online, and we had to kind of manage the timelines. It was a huge mess. But right from the initial meetings where we chalked out the script to the all-night crazy rehearsals in the last 20 days, we have come a long way these last 8 months.
And today, after 2 years of COVID, we are here with a packed full of audience, MS Srikanth Auditorium, and lots of energy.
Tonight, we're going to witness a spectacle of thrill and suspense.
There's gonna be a murder.
There's going to be mystery.
There's gonna be intrigue.
But most of all, there's going to be lots and lots of drama.
But wait, which event in SP is ever complete without the Dean sharing his very own iconic stories with us?
Yes, guys. And wouldn't you know it, surprise, surprise, our very own Dean has actually done theater in his time as well. So let's hear from him about one of his stories that he has kind of done in his own time as a student.
Hello, everybody. Oh, it's so great to see a full house. Except you really can't see anybody, when you're up here. I'll pretend it's a full house. So welcome to the show. It is so great to actually be back, all of you guys back in the theater and a group up here on stage. Theater and debate were two very important parts of my life, much more than academics. So for all of you who actually feel that, there are more important things than academics, makes sense, right? So one of the questions your fearless directors asked was, which role was most memorable amongst the many that I've done? I used to do about a couple of plays a year, all through school, all through college, competing within the Mumbai circuit against St. Xavier's. They were very good, and so forth, right? But the most memorable play I remember was the one which was the very last one, the one that finished my career, if you will. And so if you have any recording devices, audio recording devices on, I'd advise you to turn it off. Because any respect you have for me as a dean, you're probably going to say, "Isko kisne banaya dean," okay? After I share with you this particular role and this particular play. So it's, 2 years or 3 years, my first job, so similar to you guys, after my graduate school, which was in engineering, not an MBA. My first job was with Hewlett-Packard in Roseville, California. And, our job was all right. It's a year in. It's kind of boring, right? Wasn't sure I really wanted to be an engineer. I was really missing theater because I used to do it a lot. And then I saw an advertisement in the newspaper, because that's where you saw these ads, saying they were holding an open audition for a semi-professional theater company. And this semi-professional theater company performed in this old theater in California, which is the oldest continuous operating theater since the gold rush of 1849. It had burned down a few times, but since 1849, it was in continuous operation. So it was a pretty prestigious deal for this particular play, which had been running for almost 12 or 13 years. See, cities have these iconic plays that just keep going on and on. So this was the iconic play of Sacramento, California, which is the capital city of California. And it had a strange name, and kind of made you sort of raise your eyebrows. And it was called Car Hops in Bondage, right? A car hop, for those of you who might remember from your Archie comics and Jughead and Veronica and so forth, are those that actually go to the car that comes into a drive-in to ask, do you want burgers and fries and so on and so forth. And they might be on roller skates, so that was very much a California thing. So that's who car hops are. Bondage, this is California, so understand what bondage is. It's close to San Francisco as well, right? So it was car hops and bondage, seemed pretty intriguing. But it was a musical. And I had never done a musical before, ever. And it basically said to audition, come in with a prepared number, and come in with a particular song. And they'd given 2 or 3 songs. So for those of you that know James Brown from the 50s and 60s, one of the early godfathers of rock and roll, the song was called I Feel Good, right? So it's I feel good, so fine, I got you, baby, right? So that's basically the song. So I'm trying to think, okay, now what kind of a dance does a fairly uncoordinated, non-dancing person set to a music like this in a play called Car Hops and Bondage, right? What could it be? What's going to impress the directors? So I turned to my roommate, who was a ballet dancer at one point. She was also an engineer at Hewlett-Packard. And she was French-Canadian, which meant she was, pretty sophisticated. And so she says, I'm not sure ballet moves are going to work for this particular thing. So she came up with some kind of a routine, trying to compensate for my total uncoordinatedness. And there I went for the, for the audition. Still not sure which role I was auditioning for, by the way. And so I go in there. They kind of like the director looks at me and says, I think you might make a good Binky. So the role I auditioned for was this role called Binky, right? Now the plot of this play was the following. Now keep in mind, this is San Francisco. It's the home of gay culture. So most of the references would be gay. The director was gay, as was the writer. And turned out roughly 70% of those who came every day or every weekend, it ran for a whole year, by the way. So I performed twice every weekend or for a whole year. So 100 shows or so, all right? So, so this particular plot goes like this, So everything has a double meaning. So there is a queen from outer space, right? So this queen character is dressed in, a leather corset and a whip and fishnet stockings and so on and so forth, right? Because she's a dominatrix. So there's a queen from outer space, whose spacecraft crashes on planet Earth. And then she realizes that the only fuel that can get her spacecraft back in orbit are the hamburgers that happen to be inside of this burger place, okay? But there are these car hops who seem to be the ones who know how to get to the hamburgers. But these car hops are dating people that look vaguely like John Travolta from Grease, the movie, right? The leather jackets and kind of cool guys walking this way and such, right? And so that's basically the premise. And then, she needs to get back into outer space after taking captive all of these car hops, hence car hops and bondage. And I'm not actually sure how the ending finally finished up. But I was Binky, okay? And Binky was the queen's gay poodle, right? So I did 100 shows as a gay poodle. Now I defy you to tell me, what does a gay poodle do, right? So I go through the audition, and I figure I kind of got the moves down. So, by the way, I had almost like 3 or 4 solo songs as well, in addition to, generally slinking around right next to the queen wherever she went, right? So, a couple of songs. So it's a poodle that wants his own time in the limelight, and anytime the queen isn't there, he's generally on stage, dancing and singing away, right? So that's basically the role. The costume consisted of blue tights, a blue wig, and a pink tutu, right? I do have a VHS video of this, and perhaps, if I can find it, maybe on graduation day we can take a 30-second look at what that thing looks like, right? It was a great role, but except the director didn't quite like my depiction of the play, right? He goes, I'm not sure that's what a gay poodle looks like, right? Now I'm going, all right, there are 2 news here. I'm not gay, I'm not a poodle, so I'm trying my best here, man. Come on, help me out. Now, he was gay, so he had half of it down, right? But he just needed the poodle part, and he goes, I think you're looking like a gay cat. I'm going, why? He goes, you're slinking around too much. He says, a poodle bounces. A cat slinks. You're slinking. Right? So then, we spent a day or 2 trying to get the balance just right between slinking and bouncing. I don't think I ever got it. He was very disappointed with me because he had played that role the previous 4 or 5 seasons. And he had finally given up that role as a writer, director, to somebody else. And obviously, you're never going to be good enough, right? You're walking into the shoes that this person used to walk in. But it was a fantastic experience, right? We had a live band that used to play. Danced badly, it didn't matter. It was Saturday night, Sunday night, around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Nobody's judgment is very good at that time, right? And for those of you that have heard the show, or if you haven't, you should see the picture sometime. It's called the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Perhaps Ratika has seen it. No? Okay. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, you guys know Susan Sarandon, who became a famous actress, and Tim Robbins and so forth. It was their first movie. Ridiculous movie, but it's a cult classic. It would play at midnight on Saturday nights across the country. And, you would go at midnight, and you participated. It was a movie in which the audience was, had roles. So, for example, with the screen, they say something, the audience would yell back something else. Or there was a wedding scene on the screen, people would be throwing rice from the audience, right? So it was a very good, nice participatory culture. So that entire Rocky Horror Picture Show group used to come to the theater, and I got to become friends with them. So I had actually a good set of, you can kindly call them groupies, right? Who, for whatever reason, wanted to hang out with a gay poodle. And so these young ladies would basically then sort of say, okay, let's go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show later. And so we would all basically go pretty much. So I probably saw the show 30, 40 times out of the 100 nights that I performed. So we'd go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show and watch that and then, come back. Now, it was going to be very difficult to top that experience, and therefore I retired, right? So in any case, Rakesh Bedi, who's going to be our chief guest, was one of my heroes, so that dates him and dates me. He was in a TV series called Ye Jo Hai Zindagi, which used to air on Doordarshan in the 80s. For all of you, except for this row here, the color TVs came to India in 1982 with the Asian Games, right? Until then, it was black and white TV, and generally common TVs, right? So even the 1982 TV in our college common room on Powai was, whatever, 50, 80, 100 people watching one small TV. And this was one of the coolest shows that was out there. So if you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best sitcoms ever made. And Rakesh Bedi had a prominent role in that. And there was an actress named Swaroop Sampath. We all used to kind of really, watch every week to go watch Swaroop, I guess. And Rakesh played her brother, right? So, we were talking about bucket lists of meeting famous people that, ideally we would have liked to meet. So maybe Rakesh will give me an intro to Swaroop, who's probably all of 70 years old by now. But still, what the heck. So, which performance? Ah. No. Thoda, we had all of these moves here and there. Oh, that's about it. Right? I was slimmer and fitter back then, Ratika. Abhi, I can't do this anymore now. Right? So in any case, so your organizers asked me to hold the fort down as long as I could. I'm going, "Arey yaar, Rakesh, kidhar hai tu?" Right? But hopefully he's on his way. The traffic was pretty bad outside. So in any case, guys, it is great to see you. I think we're going to be doing a debate thing shortly on Monday as well, so we'll look forward to that. But thank you, welcome. So lovely to have you here.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, after listening to that story, I don't think the audience is going to think, isko dean kisne banaya? I think what they're thinking, isi ko dean banana chahiye tha.
So without any further ado, let's begin the show. And guys, take the words of your directors. Hold on to your seats. It's going to get intense. Also, we request everyone to please keep your mobile phones on silent to have an enjoyable experience here.
Playcom rules apply. And with that, guys, now, it's about to get serious. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the annual theatrical production of Gasp 2022, Sinful Nuances.
Hey, you left office way too early. Is she troubling you again?
It's time you stop picking on her, Hima. She seems so lost in thoughts these days. I think she knows.
Knows what? About us? I think you're being paranoid, Akshay. We've been very careful. Plus, there are bigger things for you to think about at the moment.
Hima.
What? What? Spit it out!
Nothing. Leave it.
Stop sulking, Akshay. You're about to become CEO. Don't spoil this moment by overthinking this.
It's not overthinking, Hima. Do you not realize what we have done? Do you know what thinking about all of this is doing to me? I wonder if you care more about me or this deal.
What? Do you think I haven't had the same thoughts? You think I've slogged day and night beside you, been with you every step of the way without caring about you?
I don't know, Hima. It's not right. What we did was not right. Maybe I am overthinking this.
Yes, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell you. Now relax and get ready. We are about to get what we worked so hard for.
Hey guys, come on in. Welcome to the party.
Hey Riya, I hope you're here before Akshaya. This Hima na took forever to get ready.
Oh, please. I was just 5 minutes late. Traffic held us up.
It's fine, guys. You're right on time. Have a seat.
So, how are you, Riya?
Oh, I'm fine. I do have a complaint though. You guys take too much of Akshay's time these days. Spare some of his time for me too, huh?
Yeah, it's been an eventful month. But he's gonna be CEO now.
So, how's it like being Mrs. CEO?
Well, I'm happy for him, but I like to think of myself as more of an artist than the wife of a CEO.
Oh, yeah. Your paintings. Sure, are beautiful. Why don't you try auctioning them?
Yeah, Riya, it's time you took your talents to the market.
Thank you, guys. I wish Akshay also saw it as something more than just a hobby. But these paintings, they are my babies. I don't want to sell them off to some stranger.
I'll get it. Laksh, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, Ved. How are you?
Finally got some time from your startup to see your friends, huh?
Man, I'm so sorry. It's been really hectic. But well, here I am. And look at you. You haven't changed a bit. Hi, Hima.
Hi, Lux.
Hello, Laksh. How are you?
I'm good, Riya. It's really nice to see you. I love what you've done to the place, by the way. And here, Akshay's favorite.
Thank you. That's so thoughtful of you. Have a seat.
Thanks. Speaking of Akshay, where is he?
He is on his way back from work. But you guys are right on time to surprise him. I think that's my oven. You guys get comfortable. I'll be right back.
So, guys, I heard you cracked that deal you've been working on for the last few months. That's great.
Oh man, don't remind me of that deal. Lot of long nights spent on that one.
Well, I, for one, am very happy that you've cracked that. And look at what you've accomplished. Akshay CEO because of what you've done. That must feel nice.
Yeah, does feel nice. But tell me about your startup. I heard you had some funding difficulties.
Man. It's been tough. But you know, I'll find my way out.
Whoa! What is this?
Akshay! We want to surprise you on your big
Lux,
day.
it's so good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, and congrats on being CEO.
Thank you, Ved.
Congrats, man. Very well deserved.
Thank you. Hima, thank you so much. Why don't you guys have a glass in your hand? Have something to drink. Ria! Yeah, what is this, yaar?
Huh, Baba? Sometimes I wonder whether you need a wife or a nanny. Looking after all your needs.
Shut up, yaar.
Looks like our last guest for the night is here. Hello, Shweta. You are late just as expected.
Hi, Ria. And looks like you've aged 10 years, just as expected. Have you put on some weight also? Okay, wait, let me guess. Is it Akshay's tantrums making you stressy?
I miss this so much. Come on in.
And here is the man of the hour. Congratulations, Akshay.
Thank you, Shweta.
I never thought this day would come, but somehow you managed to do it.
Oh, thank you, Shweta. It's your belief in me that made it happen.
Oh my god, pinch me already. Am I really seeing Laksh here?
Shweta, it's good to see you too, by the way. And tell me, what's it like moving from investment banking to spirituality and wellness?
Got tired of making too much money, so I thought, why not focus on my inner wealth?
You hate it there, don't you?
You have no idea. I'm thinking of going back already.
Well, some things will never change.
Yeah, but tonight we are here to celebrate a change. A major one on that.
Yes, guys, so let's raise a toast to Akshay, the next CEO.
Thanks, guys.
We hope you kill it, man.
Thank you. Cheers.
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 Akshay, how's it going, man?
Hey, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Is there something on your mind? Something you want to talk about, maybe?
I don't know, man. I mean, I've been thinking why I was promoted to the position of the CEO instead of Ved. I mean, look, he's senior to me. He's worked just as hard on this deal. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Look, Akshay, not everybody can be CEO, right? Plus, you've done what it takes to be one. So I say you don't really overthink it and just enjoy the day.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just get a refill.
Hi, Akshay. Congratulations. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you, Hima. You look just as wonderful today. Let's get another drink.
Hey, are things good between you and Akshay?
Yeah, it's fine. Why are you asking?
Nothing. I mean, just checking on you. You're happy, right?
Well, he's been coming home late from work. Talks only when he wants to. But he's had a huge workload last month.
Comes late, huh? Keep an eye on him, will you?
Why? Did you see something?
No, Ree. But you know how men are, right? Just keep a check on him.
Well, I did overhear him on the phone yesterday. He won't do anything like that to me. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
That was a crazy evening, huh? I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great to catch up with them all. I'm seeing Shweta after such a long time.
Yeah. And I'm having a drink after such a long time.
Sure, if you count 2 weeks as a long time.
Don't get on my case now, woman. I'm not an alcoholic. And you know I enjoy having a drink occasionally with my friends.
I don't know if I know anything about you anymore, Akshay.
Sometimes, Ria, I wonder if the woman that I'm living with right now is the same woman that I fell in love with 10 years ago. I mean, you used to be so carefree, and now it's almost as if all of life has been drawn out of you.
You are one to talk. I barely see you anymore, Akshay. You come and you go. I don't even remember the last time I talked to you properly.
I'm here now. Talk to me.
You know what? I have nothing to say.
Why are you doing this, Ria? Why are you doing this to us? Is this what you want from our marriage?
Well, our marriage hasn't been a bed of roses, has it, Akshay? People change. Passion dies. But hopefully what you're left with at the end is a sense of comfort and trust.
And what would you say this sense of comfort between us would be right now?
I don't know. Barely anything.
And trust?
Let me go get changed for bed. Good night, Akshay.
Reha. Was it this hour of the night?
Hey, I know it's late. There's something important I have to talk to you about.
Yeah, sure. Come on in. You okay? I mean, you left the party early as well.
Yeah, something came up. Is Ria asleep?
I guess she is. But not before throwing our marriage under the bus. Remind me why I chose to marry so early?
Man, I'm really not the person to talk about this right now.
How could you be? You're still enjoying the glorious days of your singlehood.
Akshay, I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you. Are you really going to reveal our cover-up in the Hoffman case to the board?
Look, man. I've been thinking about it. What we did, it wasn't right. We shouldn't have.
Are you really going to reveal our cover-up to the
I'm
board?
not lying to you, Ved. I have been thinking about it.
Why? Why would you do that?
As the CEO, I can't just look after our best interest. I have to go after the company's larger interest. And moreover, what do you think the board members will think if they find about this from somewhere else?
But they won't. They won't if you don't blurt it out. You do realize that you'd be admitting to your own guilt, right?
This is not what I had signed up for, Ved. You guys stepped over the line with this and you know it.
Oh, really? when time came to take credit, you were first in line for that CEO position. And now you're throwing me under the bus.
That was
You bloody hypocrite.
That was just a stepping stone to that position. I've been working for this since a long time.
Yeah, I know all about the secrets and lies you used to get ahead.
What the hell are you talking about?
You might think of yourself as a priest, Akshay. But we both know how many times you had to falsify information and fudge numbers to get your deals ahead.
What deal are you talking about?
Don't be ignorant, Akshay. Don't think I've forgotten about the Mexican clients and how you got investors on board.
I did that to save the company. Moreover, if you think you can bring back something from 5 years ago and harm me in any way at the board meeting, take your chances. Trust me, Ved. It's better for everyone's sake.
I didn't want to do this, Akshay. But you have left me no choice.
Now what are you talking about?
About the fact that I know all about your business trips with Hema.
What did you just say? Are you accusing me of something?
You're damn right I am. If I'm going down, you're coming down with me.
Those were just business trips for work. We are just friends. There's nothing of that sort.
You must think very poorly of me if you think I have nothing to back it up.
Where the hell did you get this from?
I think you're forgetting how resourceful I can get when it comes to these things.
You know what, Ved? You must think so poorly of me too. If you think this is going to change anything, I'm going to go to the board and there's nothing you can do about it.
Don't be stupid, Akshay. You're gonna regret this.
We're done, Ved. Get out.
What was Wade talking about? About your trips?
Nothing. Ved's out of his mind. His ambitions are getting the better of him.
Don't lie to me, Akshay. I heard you.
What?
At least have the decency to not lie to my face.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, don't play dumb. What were you talking about?
It was a work thing.
Work
I
thing.
swear.
Right. It's Hema, isn't it? No wonder Shweta told me to keep an eye on you. You lying piece of
Watch
shit!
yourself, Ria! Are you out of your mind? Have you not been having your pills or something?
Wow. That's a new law even for a pig like you. And maybe if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have to take all those pills.
Oh, the irony. Like father, like daughter.
Don't you dare bring my dad into your filth. Dad was a troubled man. But he did whatever he had to take care of his family.
Take care of his family? How? Gambling in a casino?
Get lost, Akshay! Why don't you just tell me if you don't want to be with me anymore? Why are you making me go through this?
Look, Ria. If you don't trust me, there's nothing I can do to help you. You have to get better. You have to help yourself.
I am not crazy!
Hello? Ree?
Shweta, he's gone. Shweta, he's gone.
Who's gone, Ree? What happened? Are you okay?
Akshay's gone.
Hold on, Ree. I'm coming. I'm calling everyone. Just hold on. Ree? 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 How did this happen? Ree? Ree? How did this Ree!
He's gone, Shweta. He's gone.
We have to call the police. We have to call the police. Hello? Yes, someone has died. Counter Road, house number 7. I'm sorry. How did this happen? How did this happen?
I don't know, Shweta. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's okay. We'll find a way out. We'll find a way out.
No. You shouldn't touch anything. Did someone call the police?
Yeah, I did.
I don't believe this. He was so strong. How could he do such a thing?
Akshay? Akshay? Akshay! Everything was so perfect. It's all gone.
He seemed a little off yesterday. I remember he was telling me
What?
that nothing, just that he's been under a lot of stress due to work and your deal and everything.
Yes. He was under a lot of pressure due to.
Yeah, you would know, right? You would know what he was going through. With all those nights you spent with him in his office.
Yes! Yes, I would know because I was there for him when you were not.
I was there for him for 10 years. Whenever he needed me. And if it weren't for you, he would still be alive today.
What's going on here, guys?
Ask her what she was doing spending all those nights with my husband.
For once, he was happy in his life out of his suffocating marriage. Really loved each other.
Loved. He loved me. And we were happy before you decided to step into our marriage.
Me? It was Akshay. Akshay who wanted to get rid of you and your suffocating nature, Riya. Staying with you gave him anxiety. He would come to me whenever he needed someone. You wouldn't even talk to him.
Keep him out, shut him up.
You fought with him right after the party, didn't you?
That's enough, Hima. So what if they had a fight? It's normal. And what are you pointing at here?
Guys, not now. Police is here.
Hi, I'm Officer Harsh, and this is Officer Vijay. We understand that it was one of you who had called reporting the death.
Yes, officer. I was the one who called.
What was the name of the victim?
Akshay. Akshay Vadia.
And why exactly are all of you gathered here?
We were all close friends of Akshay, and this is Ria, Akshay's wife. Last night, we were all here for a party to celebrate his promotion and left around 10 p.m. This morning, Ria called me and asked me to rush over, and that's when I called all of them. When we came here, this
Look, we understand that you must be going through a difficult time, but we need some time to inspect the scene. Can you all please step outside for a few minutes? I remember reading about him. He was a real hotshot. Rose through the company ranks in no time and was in line for the CEO position.
What do you think then?
No gun near him. Doesn't look like suicide.
Foul play then.
Looks like it.
In that case, we have our work cut out for us. Let's get the evidences to forensics and see what turns up.
Call them.
Everyone, back here.
Based on our preliminary inspection, we suspect foul play. We believe this could be a murder. We'll have to send Akshay's body for postmortem and we'll have to search the house for evidence. Meanwhile, as all of you were in close contact with Akshay in the last 24 hours, we'll have to record your statements.
What? You mean we are under suspicion?
For now, yes. But you don't have to worry if you have nothing to hide. The truth of the matter will come out in one way or another.
How do you want to do this then?
Let's start with the ones closer to the victim. Based on the initial statements, Laksh knew Akshay for the longest, and Shweta was closer to Ria.
What about Ria then? She was there at the house at the time of murder. Do you not want to hear from her first?
No. In her current state, I don't think we'll get much from her. We need a more objective set of eyes. Someone who was close, but might have seen something.
Okay. I'll bring in Laksh and Shweta then.
So, Laksh, how was your relationship with Akshay?
Akshay and I, we were best friends since college. Back then, he used to share everything. But with time, he got busy with his work. And I got busy with mine. Yesterday at the party, I was seeing him for the first time after 3 long years.
So the party, how was he at the party?
I arrived late, but he seemed happy to me. Ria did tell me that he's been working really hard for the past couple of months, and him being made the CEO was a huge deal. He seemed like the same old Akshay, jovial, caring. It did feel like he had something on his mind, but that could be a part and parcel of him being the senior executive.
Did you see anything out of ordinary? Anything that seemed different?
Now that you mention it, Akshay was not so sure as to why he was promoted to CEO instead of Ved. Even Ved seemed a little unsettled with Akshay's promotion. There was this awkwardness between them. And
I did see Akshay and Hema together. They seemed closer than I thought they were.
Close? Close in what way?
Like they were more than just friends. Like lovers. And turns out I was right. Because before you and Officer Harsh walked in, Ria did accuse Hema of having an affair with Akshay. In fact, she did have an affair with him. I just can't believe this. Akshay,
he has been an achiever ever since college. But he doubted his own ability. I told him it was his doubt. But he was telling me how Ved was just as important as him on some of those deals that were pivotal to, Akshay becoming CEO. But coupled with the fact that Ved was a senior, Akshay thought he didn't deserve the role. He wouldn't agree to me when I said it was a self-doubt. Maybe there was something else on his mind. Maybe it was Hema, but who knows?
So Vijay, what did you get?
Akshay was having an affair with Hema.
Yeah, I got that too. And Laksh felt there was some tension between Ved and Akshay for the promotions to the CEO position.
What do we do now? It seems like a mess to me.
Let's look at what we have so far. If Ria knew Akshay and Hema were having an affair,
Then we have the motive and the circumstantial evidence because she was there at the crime scene.
yes, I think it's time to bring Ria in. So Ria, what was the nature of your marriage with Akshay?
Nature of marriage? What do you mean?
I meant, were you happy with each other or were there any problems?
every marriage has problems. We fell in love in college. And things were great before he started working at Concise.
Concise? You mean Concise Chemicals where he was working? What went wrong?
Initially, everything was fine. He joined as an executive director. So obviously, he had a huge workload. And I understood that. But after a while, I just saw him on weekends. He grew distant, withdrawn. We lost our connect.
Why did you guys grow apart?
I don't know.
I think you do, Ria.
She destroyed my life. We were happy before she came along.
Hima,
Yes. I thought there was something. But I trusted him. I felt he wouldn't do anything like that to me. After all that I had sacrificed, my job, my dream of becoming an artist, he wouldn't even give me a second glance.
I'm sorry to ask you this, but where were you at the time of Akshay's death?
We had a fight. I overheard him talk to Ved when he came back after the party.
Wait, Ved? He came back after the party?
Yes. They go back. I thought they were talking about business. But then I overheard him talk about Akshay's business trips with Hima. At first I couldn't believe it. But then it all made sense. I even confronted him about it. But he wouldn't admit to it. He called me crazy. So I took some sleeping pills and went to bed. And when I woke up,
Harsh, you need to see this.
Right now?
Yeah, it's urgent.
Okay. What is it, Vijay?
Harsh, Ria did it.
What? What do you mean?
The gun we confiscated from her home, well, the gun had no prints. But the magazine inside, it had prints and it matched Ria's.
So she remembered to clean the gun, but forgot to clean the magazine where she loaded the bullets. But how would she know to load the gun?
We checked her background, and turns out her father was a retired military officer.
Oh, really? Well, that was easy. Now, let's hear it from her mouth. Well, Ria, you almost had me pitying you with that story of yours. And that twist with Ved, I almost fell for it. But you messed it up, Ria.
what are you
That's
saying?
enough, Ria. The gun we got from your home, the one you remembered to clean after shooting Akshay. Well, you forgot to clean the magazine. We got you, Ria! We got you!
No! No!
It's over, Ria! Why did you do it?
I didn't mean to! I didn't mean to! After all that we'd been through, he goes on and cheats on me with another woman. And when I confront him about it, he wouldn't even admit to it. So that night I took the gun and decided to end it all. realized what I had done. I cleaned the gun and put it back. Then I called Shweta. I loved him, officer. But now, he's gone. I'm sorry, Akshay. I'm sorry.
I never expected a case would turn out like this.
Yeah, one rash decision and so many lives ruined.
Yeah. But Harsh, what about Ved? Didn't Ria say he came back that night?
Probably something about the business, like Ria said. Anyway, we weren't here to investigate their dealings.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, is this Officer Harsh?
Yes?
This is Dr. Neha from the Forensic Lab. This is regarding the post-mortem report of Mr. Akshay Wadia.
Yes, tell me.
Officer, the primary cause of death for the victim was not a gunshot. The cause of death was actually the ingestion of a highly poisonous drug called botulinum.
What? Wait, I don't understand. He was not killed by a gunshot?
No. In fact, he was already dead at the time of being shot.
Okay. Thanks, doctor.
What happened, Harsh? What? I don't understand this. So when Ria shot Akshay, he was already dead.
Yes, he was poisoned. And according to the forensic report, this drug takes effect any time within 24 hours of exposure.
That means he could have been poisoned at any point of time in the 24 hours leading to his death.
Yes. And the person who did this is our actual murderer. Things just got complicated, Vijay.
We can't stop the investigation then, Harsh.
Yes. So Ved came back that night after the party. Maybe he wanted something. But before I get to him, I want to see everyone else's perspective. Let's bring in Hima.
Miss Hima, we know Akshay and you were co-workers. But it was interesting to find out that you were also having an affair with him. So tell me, where did it all begin?
Akshay and I, we used to spend a lot of time together due to work. He used to tell me how he and Ria were drifting apart, how he felt lost in their marriage. And I liked him for who he was. Smart, funny, genuine. I couldn't understand why he would stay in such a relationship. Soon, I realized he too had feelings for me, and that's how it began.
We understand this might come off as a shock to you, but we have to inform you. Akshay was not killed by a gunshot. He was poisoned. He was already dead when he was shot.
What? Poison? How did this happen?
Look, we understand. But now that you have heard this, do you know anyone who would want to do this?
I don't know. I mean, someone in Akshay's position. He never really had any enemies. I'm not sure, officer.
Okay. Could you tell me about your relationship with Ved and how three of you got along, since all three of you were working together?
Ved and Akshay, they were friends since college, along with Shweta and Laksh. I got to know Ved only after I joined Concise. He was senior to us. In fact, it was through Ved that Akshay got into Concise in the first place. I never really had any problems with him. But not everyone felt the same. He could be a bit self-centered at times. And maybe that's why he was passed over for the position of the CEO.
And what were you doing in the 24 hours leading to Akshay's death?
It was the night before the announcement. We were all really happy that the deal had closed. I really wanted Akshay to become the CEO. The next day, when the announcement came in, we were all really happy. We even had a small party. Later, at around 5 p.m., I left for home to get ready for the party that Ria had invited us for.
Okay, Ma. We'll get back to you if you need anything else from you.
So that's interesting. Ved was not just passed over as CEO, he was also the one who got Akshay the job in the first place.
Very interesting. And since he was passed over, he wouldn't have passed over.
What do you think
Since he
then?
was passed over, I don't think he would have been too happy with that.
Then, what do you think?
So Ved was with Akshay in the last 24 hours leading to his death, and has potential motive as well. I think we are close now.
Let's see then. I'll bring him in.
So Ved, how did you and Akshay get along?
He was an intelligent man. We were friends since college. He always seemed so approachable and an easygoing person. Which is why I recommended him for the position at Concise. And he didn't let me down either. He was an exemplary employee. I know we have had our misunderstandings at times, but I always respected his opinion and his expertise.
Well, looks like things were great then. So tell me, Ved, why did you come back after the party? The night of Akshay's murder.
It was a work-related thing. It was a deal we had just closed. There were a few points we had to iron out.
And what was so important that it couldn't have waited for the next morning?
It was critical for the closure of the deal. There were some inconsistencies in some of the numbers. And I had to talk to Akshay because we had promised something to the clients the next morning.
If this was that important, why didn't you sort this out at the party itself?
It slipped my mind.
I thought he just said it was very important to him.
So important, in fact, he had to come back that night itself to talk about it.
But when Akshay was right there at the party, it somehow slipped your mind to talk to him about this important topic.
I know what you're trying to do here. Akshay and me, we have had our ups and downs. But I would never think of doing anything like that.
If I'm not wrong, didn't this recent deal of yours actually pave the path for Akshay to become the CEO?
I guess so.
And isn't it true that before he was made CEO, you two were the main candidates for it?
Yes. But that doesn't prove anything.
You know what? I've heard too much about this deal of yours. I think it's time we got a closer look at this for ourselves. Vijay, let's get a search warrant and see what was really going on here.
Officers, you have to believe me. This has got nothing to do with Akshay's murder.
How are you so sure, Ved? Looks like you know a lot about how he died.
Or rather, how he was poisoned.
What? Poisoned? I had no idea. Akshay wasn't poisoned, he was shot.
He was already dead by the time he was shot. He was killed by poison. Now tell me, Ved, are you going to come clean or not?
Officers, you have to believe me. I did not kill Akshay.
That's enough, Vijay. Get a search warrant.
Wait, wait! I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. But I did not kill Akshay. That night, I did go back to confront him.
About what?
About the deal. There were no inconsistent. Had the potential to be lethal. But we had already spent so much developing it. Going back at that stage would have been disastrous. That's why we didn't tell anything to the clients. But Akshay, he started to get cold feet. He was indifferent at the beginning. But once news of his promotion came through, he changed his mind. He wanted to come clean to the board. That's when I went to Hema, so that she could knock some sense into him.
What? She was part of this deal too?
Yeah. And she said everything was taken care of. But Akshay, his behavior still seemed off. And I couldn't risk that.
Wait. How exactly did this deal come about?
Akshay, Hema and I, we were involved in this deal. I was responsible for executing it. Hema got the clients on board, planned the strategy. And Akshay, he oversaw the entire process. He knew the risks involved with what we were doing. And he never objected to any of it. But once he became CEO, he suddenly grows a conscience. He was a hypocrite. That's what he was.
So that's why you were there that night.
Yeah. I went there hoping I could force him to change his mind. I thought I could leverage the fact that I knew about his affair with Hema. But I underestimated him. He didn't budge. But officers, you have to believe me. I did not kill Akshay.
We will get to the bottom of that. Vijay, take him outside. Vijay, you heard it as well, right?
Yes. Botulinum. The same drug that killed Akshay.
Which means this deal might give us what we need to solve this.
But do you think he was telling the truth?
You never know. But Ved was backed into the corner. And in 10 years, I've seen lot of success bluff. But this didn't seem like it. Moreover, what he told us incriminates him as well. He may as well be the killer. But I think we need to dig deeper into what he told us.
And Hema had a major role to play in this too.
Yes. If Akshay was about to go to the board, then her career was also at stake.
And she was also with him in the 24 hours leading to his death.
Meaning, it was possible for her to have poisoned him.
Yes. Okay. Let's do this. I'll go to their office to see if I find something. Meanwhile, you can check the lab reports.
I see you're learning, Vijay. Make sure you check the CCTV footage. And since it was poison, get the forensic team to look into everyone's office belongings.
I'll do that.
What did you find, Vijay?
We have a problem, Harsh. I went through the recordings of that night, and around 30 minutes of footage has been deleted already.
Which means, whoever it was, they're trying to cover their tracks.
Exactly.
And how many people were there at the office?
There are 15 people at the office that night, and I've asked our officers to track them. We can call them for questioning later.
That could take forever. Did you find anything related to the deal?
Actually, yes. Since the drug that killed Akshay was the same one which was used in the deal, I cross-checked how many people had access to that. And interestingly, Ved isn't one of them. Did you see something interesting here?
Akshay and Hema.
Exactly. 10 people, including Akshay and Hema, had access to that drug. And all other day it was the lab technicians, the scientists.
What are the chances that it could be those scientists?
Very unlikely, actually. But still, that's not enough to pin the blame on Hema.
Yeah, but Hema knew all about the deal, has motive, and had access to the drug as well. All of this stacks up against her. I want to see how she defends herself now.
Let's hear from her then. But do you mind if I take a lead on this one?
Sure, go ahead.
Miss Hema, let me get straight to the point. We know you were part of the deal. So tell us everything you know.
Ved told you, didn't he? Let me tell you what really happened, officer. The drug botulinum showed that it could be lethal when used with some particular chemicals. But because of the larger benefits, we had to take a call. Ved was insistent that we not reveal it to the client, but Akshay was not on board. He even asked me to convince Akshay. I spoke to Akshay and I told him that he should do what he felt was right for his career, because ultimately it was his approval that mattered.
Oh, really? You mean to say that Ved was the one who forced Akshay to cover it up? Don't bluff, Hema. We know the deal was your brainchild. And you were the one who got clients on board.
I did. I got them on board. That was my job. But Ved was responsible for executing the deal. And when the truth about the drug was revealed, covering it up was not my call to make.
Even then, if the truth of the deal were to come out, would it not jeopardize your career?
It would. It would, but the chances of that was so slight that I was willing to take the risk.
Okay. You know that Akshay was killed by a poison, right? The funny thing is, we never knew it was the same lethal combination of botulinum that Concise manufactured until Wade told us.
And you know what's more interesting?
Wade never had access to that drug. But you did! How do you explain this, Hema?
There's nothing to explain, officer. Me having access to the drug doesn't prove anything. There were others who had access to it as well.
True. But none of them met Akshay in the 24 hours leading to his death.
Oh, really? Now I know you're the one who's bluffing, officer. Because there were 4 scientists with whom we had met the previous night to go over the results, all of whom had access to it. You have nothing on me, officer. All you have is a theory with no evidence. And if this is all, I would like to take your leave.
No, that's not all. Vijay, can I have a word?
I'm sorry, Harsh. I thought I had her, but she called my bluff. What do we do now?
Hold on, let me think.
I shouldn't have said that. Almost harder.
It's okay. I think we can still get her.
But how?
I got this. Hema, I have one last question.
What is it now, officer?
No one was allowed to take the drug outside the lab, not even those who had access to it. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's right.
Then, how do you explain this? Go ahead, take a look. This is the forensic report of your office belongings. There are botulinum traces on your workstation mouse. If nobody was allowed to take the drug outside, how did it end up here?
This is not possible. I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Hema. It's over. We got you.
No. This is not possible. I took care of everything. No!
Why did you do it?
I took care of him. I thought we understood each other. He would come to me to find an escape from his broken marriage. And I thought he loved me. No. All he cared was about himself. I set up the deal. I put everything in place. I wanted him to become the CEO. But he was ready to throw it all away. Throw me away? He never even left Ria. That woman who held him back, who gave him nothing. I gave him everything.
What did he give me? What did he give me? What did he give me?
So you killed him at the office party.
He was happy, ecstatic even. That night, we had just finished working on that deal. I told him that he shouldn't go to the CEO to talk about the cover-up. But he wouldn't listen to me. He told me that he would go to them, regardless of what it did to all of us, to all of our careers. So, I took the botulinum. I had to do it. The next morning, after the announcement, when he was distracted, I did it. I killed him. I killed him! I killed him.
But you didn't count for Ria. She shot him for his infidelity. And you poisoned him for what you thought was his selfishness. You all are truly victims of your own sins.
Well, that was something. Certainly something that I'll never see in my career again.
You never know. Spend long enough in this job and you will see everything.
Maybe, yeah. But Harsh, I wanted to ask you something. That forensic report, the one that incriminated Hema, where did you get that from? I remember going through the documents, but I didn't see it.
Well, you didn't look hard enough.
No. No, Harsh. I remember going through the documents carefully. I didn't see it there, Harsh. Where did you get that report? Harsh, where did you get that report?
I didn't. The report was a fake. I faked it to get a confession out of her.
That's a crime. You falsified an evidence to get a suspect to confess. That confession is inadmissible, Harsh.
I did what was needed to close this case and get the criminal behind the bars.
Is this how you justify this to yourself?
There's nothing to justify here, Vijay. You think this job is that simple and clear-cut? We operate in the grey, Vijay.
In the grey? It seems to be black and white to me, Harsh.
This won't be the first time you will be seeing something like this. Sometimes this is what is needed.
Then what's the difference between us and them? Ved, Ria, Hema, all of them.
All of them had a choice to do something better, but they didn't. It's those nuances, those sinful nuances that make up the difference between us and them.
Those same nuances make up the difference between you and me. Not all ends are justified by the means.
So be it.
So be it.
A big round of applause for all our actors.
Indeed, what a performance. And let me tell you, Yashraj and everyone, I'm scared to become a CEO now.
Let's not forget, keeping that aside, the crew members who put in day and night to make Gasp.
Of course, I can't forget the writing team slogging day in and day out, asking everyone for leaves, for putting in twists and turns. A good round of applause for them.
The acoustic and ambience team for bringing out the emotions alive.
Logistics team to look the stage look like home or bar, or maybe investigation office.
The costumes and makeup team to make everyone look like stars.
The finance team because someone famous like Rahul Parikh said, paisa important hai.
And the photography team for being our in-house media team and putting up with our tantrums of ek is angle se bhi photo lo na.
Oh, and creatives and marketing.
Oh.
I loved the offline marketing that
Same
they
here.
did, be it in bistro or everywhere around.
Now, it's time for the much awaited curtain call.
Yes, we would like to invite all the actors on the stage.
Anamika as Riya.
Prateek as Ved.
Harshita as Hima.
Kamal as Akshay.
Nikhil as Laksh.
Malika as Shweta.
Hari as Officer Harsh.
Shubhendu as Officer Vijay.
Now, our very own directors.
Abhishek and Vidushi.
You guys have them.
It wouldn't be SPJIMR without a glitch, right? Let's not forget our showrunners who put in nights and days to make sure all of this could happen. Let's hear it for Hari Krishnan, Rahul Parikh, Yashraj Kothari.
I would take this moment to thank everyone who showed up for this play and everyone who are watching on YouTube live broadcast as well. So what you saw was efforts of 45 members of Gasp. Yeah, and I'm proud to have worked with a dedicated bunch of people. I would also like to thank our Dean, Dr. Varun Nagaraj sir, program leadership team, faculty, the admin team, purchase team and accounts team, vendors and other stakeholders who helped Gasp to make this happen. Also, special thanks to all the alums who joined us for this event and our seniors who guided us in this process. Thank you. So, So, yeah, so that's all from Gasp 22. I'll hand over the mic to. Yes,
Members and the faculty members to come on stage so that we can have a group picture together.
And unfortunately, due to traffic, our chief guest couldn't come. He's still on his way. He wants to come and join us no matter what. So whoever wants to meet him can stay back. And rest may leave, and the gas team and all the faculties and everyone can come on stage, and we'll have a final picture. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you once again from the gas team.
Also, all Gasp members, please stay back. It's time for
Yeah.
party.
Last but not the least, pack up.
Please come on stage.